We could see that homelessness has been going down in most of the country for since like 2010. It's decreased by like over 30%. But in LA, San Francisco, San Diego, lots of places on the coast, homelessness has increased. Nationally, you've got about 500,000 homeless people, and about 50,000 of those are in Los Angeles. So it's a huge concentration of people who need better housing and or who need housing, period. There's the phrase, not in my backyard. Like, yes, I know that homelessness needs to be solved, but don't put it in my backyard. I don't want that problem here. That NIMBY mentality makes it really hard to develop good housing for people who are lower income. And so that's a big barrier. It takes you 3 to 4 years to build an apartment complex, right? I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. And if you want to build it in a particular location and the people in that city hear, oh my goodness, there's a homeless facility coming in, and they freak out, they can find ways to slow it down for a lot longer or maybe kill it. Almost all the shelters are temporary in nature. So by their very nature, you stay there 3 months, 6 months or something, and then you time out. They're not permanent. A lot of them have strict rules about alcohol and drug addiction and things of that nature. And lots of the people who are chronically homeless have alcohol or drug problems or mental health problems. And so they can't even get into a lot of these places, even if they want to. And when you meet the folks that are actually homeless, you realize that most of them aren't like scary people that you need to be afraid of. Most of them are just people who've had some really hard knocks and who are good people and need some help.
I was just living in motels, like bouncing around from different motel to motel, whichever one was the cheapest at the time. Finding a job when you're homeless is like really hard because you need an address, and a lot of times like you can't put the motel as an address when you're applying for jobs, but you need a job to get an apartment, and you need an apartment to get a job, and it just like kind of goes back and forth, and you're always in a constant loop. It's like you have to have like all these different qualifications for all these different things, but like the system is like blocking you from doing those things like sometimes. I guess I'd like to say that like not all homeless people are the same, and they want help, but a lot of them are not going to ask for it.
All over the country, there's something called the point in time count, which every like January, cities, counties, etc., will go out and they will count the homeless people who are living on the street. And they need volunteers to do that. And then we would give them information about resources in the community and things that they could use to help them. So I have a lot of hope in millennials and the generation following them. I really think your group is going to solve a lot of these problems simply because you know how to use data, you know how to find data, and you are digging into the real problem.